Nearly 200 dogs seized from the director of a rescue group need your help. We'll show you what you can do.
And we are tracking a few flakes moving through the area right now across central and eastern Kentucky. They won't be around long, though. I'll give you the latest.
President Obama holds his final news conference of 2015. We'll show you what he discussed.
WKYT News starts now with breaking news.
Good afternoon to you. I'm Amber Philpott. Jennifer has the afternoon off. We are tracking breaking news out of Clark County right now. 2 people have died in an incident at a workplace there. It happened at Palmer Engineering on Shoppers Drive about 1. We've been on the scene all afternoon gathering details. WKYT's Garrett Weimer is live there for us with more. Garrett?
Amber, we know 2 people are dead, and investigators say they did know each other, calling it a domestic situation. But other than that, we really don't know much at this time. Now, police have been out here all afternoon at Palmer Engineering. The coroner is also here. We're told investigators have interviewed the employees here to try to get more information about what happened. We've seen workers here trickle out of the building as the afternoon wore on, but police have not said what they believe happened inside or where inside the building it happened. In fact, police have not released many details to us at all.
All I can tell you is that there are 2 deceased. It was a domestic situation, and the scene is safe.
School officials tell us 2 nearby schools, that's Henry Baker Intermediate and Strode Station Elementary, were put on lockdown for about 45 minutes to an hour this afternoon. Live in Winchester, Garrett Weimer, WKYT.
Garrett, thank you, and we will continue to keep you posted on that story. Well, you might have seen some snowflakes on and off today. You are looking live now at a downtown Lexington picture. Cooler temperatures brought us those flurries, and the more December-like weather will be sticking around for a couple of days. WKYT meteorologist Jim Caldwell's here now with an early check of the forecast. It felt like December for sure today.
It felt like it should. We finally got a little taste of that really cold air. In the camera view that we were just using there of downtown, showing more in the way of sunshine. Our camera view here out by the station, notice we have the clouds around, more clouds, and even you can pick up on some of the snow that's falling there with that light off in the distance with the sunshine giving us a little bit of a glow. You can see it, and there's even a few flakes kind of peppering. It's hard to see, but there are a few of them peppering right in front of the camera here at the station. So we're running into one of those full-blown snow showers here. That's the nature of a snow shower. Sunny on one side of town and then snowy on the other. And there you can see what the radar looks like, and we have just kind of erupted into numerous snow showers moving through the area. So we've gone past the flurries to full-blown snow shower activity, and there you can kind of see the ones that I was talking about over on our side of town. There you see Winchester Road listed, the snow shower here, a little bit more on the north side of town as well, and more throughout southeastern Kentucky where they've gotten a little more on the rich side with the snow. They've had several pass through that area and off into West Virginia as well. These will continue to wind down, and just the cold will remain into the nighttime hours and into your Saturday. We'll track that cold and the rain that leads up to Christmas coming up in just a few minutes.
We will see you then, Jim. Thank you. Nearly 200 dogs are now under the care of officials in Laurel County after they were seized yesterday. The dogs were taken from the director of an animal rescue group. She's now facing criminal charges. WKYT's Phil Pendleton has more from where the dogs are being held now and how you can help. It's our top story at 4.
There are now more than 170 dogs finding a temporary home inside the pavilion behind me. All of them need to be fostered out. They need temporary homes, but beyond that, the shelter needs a lot of supplies to care for all of the dogs inside this building. All the dogs are inside the pavilion at the Laurel County Fairgrounds. They're all types, big and small, this and that, and mixed breeds. They were taken from Stephanie Fields' home, who's the director of Homeward Bound, an animal rescue organization. Dozens of dogs were found running around her property yesterday when she was arrested by Kentucky State Police on a charge of animal cruelty. Officials say while these dogs can be fostered out or adopted through a rescue group, they're asking people to start at the shelter first, adopting those dogs so that the shelter can be freed up to house some of these animals. Right now, the need is for volunteers to help out at the temporary shelter and for donations.
Anybody that wants to make a donation, they can do it here or the animal shelter. Blankets, cleaning supplies, or anything like that.
Now, Stephanie Fields again faces a charge of second-degree animal cruelty. We did speak to her by phone this morning. She said she could not have a comment based on what her attorney is telling her. In Laurel County, Phil Pendleton, WKYT.
And Fields will answer to her charges on January 4th in Laurel District Court. She was released from jail after posting a $500 cash bond. In our other top stories at 4, former Agriculture Commissioner Richie Farmer is out of prison. The Federal Bureau of Prisons confirmed Farmer's release this morning. He must serve the remainder of his 27-month sentence in a halfway house. The federal government is not saying where Farmer will be housed. He was convicted of misappropriating government resources while in office. Farmer was a UK basketball star in the early 1990s. We are working on a number of other stories for you on WKYT starting at 4:30. Sam Dick joins us now from the newsroom with a look at some of the news in progress. Good afternoon, Sam.
Good afternoon, Amber. A mother and her 2 children escaped from their burning home this morning. The fire happened about 9 this morning on Tiverton Way near Fayette Mall. The home had moderate damage and the family will have to stay elsewhere for a while. We'll show you how a 4-year-old helped his family get out safely on WKYT News at 4:30. A Christmas tradition taking place in Lexington this morning. Fayette Heating and Air has been doing the Gift of Heat program for 9 years. 6 area families will receive a new furnace and air conditioning system for free, and they'll all be installed by Christmas Day. You'll hear from one of those recipients coming up on WKYT News at 5 o'clock. It's a unique view of the world, 360-degree views of New York or even the ocean. The videos used to require professional setups involving multiple GoPro cameras. Now there's an easy way for anyone to shoot this type of video. We'll show you how it works in a consumer alert on WKYT News at 5:30. That's a quick look at some of the news in progress. Amber, back to you.
Sam, thank you. Now to some stories making headlines across the nation at 4. The Senate has given sweeping approval to a year-end budget package. The deal boosts federal agency spending and awards tax cuts to families. It passed by a vote of 65 to 33. The bill now goes to President Obama for his signature. President Obama faced questions about the administration's anti-terror strategy in his last news conference of the year. It took place this afternoon before the president traveled to California to meet with the families of the San Bernardino attacks. Steve Nannis has more from Washington.
President Obama addressed reporters for what will likely be the last time in 2015.
And in 2016, I'm going to leave it out all on the field.
The main focus of the press conference was an issue that's on the minds of many Americans, keeping the country safe from terrorism.
Our counterterrorism, intelligence, homeland security, and law enforcement communities are working 24/7 to protect our homeland, and all of us can do our part by staying vigilant.
A recent poll showed that 60% of Americans disapprove of how the president is handling terrorism. On Friday, the commander-in-chief tried to make the case that his administration is doing everything it can to defeat ISIS at home and abroad.
We are continuing to work at every level to make sure that there's no slip between information sharing among agencies.
He also touted recent strides in the U.S. economy and said the country as a whole is on the right track.
Our early actions to rescue the economy set the stage for the longest streak of private sector job growth on record.
And with less than 7 weeks to go until the Iowa caucuses, the president was asked to weigh in on the 2016 election.
I think we will have a strong Democratic nominee. I think that Democratic nominee will win. I think I will have a Democratic successor.
Following the press conference, the president boarded Air Force One to head to San Bernardino to meet with the family members of the victims of the December 2nd terrorist attack. In Washington, I'm Steve Nannis reporting.
President Obama's meeting in San Bernardino is expected to be brief. Afterwards, he will then head to Hawaii for his annual holiday vacation. Pope Francis plans to make Mother Teresa a saint. The Pope says Mother Teresa cured a Brazilian man with brain tumors after her death. The Vatican credits his wife's prayers to Mother Teresa with causing the tumors to go away. It is the second of 2 miracles required to become a saint. In 1998, a worshiper's stomach tumor vanished after praying to the nun.
She is always a good example to the world. When you see a person that is suffering, it doesn't matter his religion or her religion or where the person comes from, that you have to try to help the person.
The sainthood ceremony is expected to take place at the Vatican in September of 2016. The last finishing on a down note for the week. The Dow tumbled 370 points. The S&P 500 also finished down nearly 2%. It is all due to a stock sell-off that continues in the wake of the Federal Reserve announcing a hike in interest rates. You can buy a brand new iPhone for very little green today. Best Buy is selling the 16-gigabyte version of the iPhone 6 for $1. There is a catch. You need to sign a 2-year contract with Verizon or Sprint. Customers who trade in a working iPhone 5 can also get a $200 gift card. Auto industry experts predict Americans will buy more cars and trucks in December than any other month since 2005. According to forecasting companies LMC Automotive and J.D. Power, sales are expected to hit about 1.7 million this month. December is usually a strong car and truck sales month because consumers take advantage of year-end and holiday deals. All right, we are coming upon the last weekend to get your holiday shopping finished. Maybe you've been procrastinating, or maybe you're still trying to figure out what to get that person who is really hard to buy for. Tech expert Brett Larson has a few ideas for you.
For the techies in your life, why not tap into the power of Apple's HomeKit? iDevices has a new smart switch that you can control with just a few taps. Or tell Siri to do it for you.
For me, I have it set up around my house so I can say, you know, Siri, set my good night scene, and my doors will lock, my lights will turn off, my thermostat turns the temperature down.
Plant lovers are likely to love this.
So you can tap and view your moisture levels. You can see how they've changed over the week or over the month.
It's called Eden, and it ups the gardening game to a whole new level.
By using our sensor, you can know exactly how much water is in your soil, and using our app, you can know when you need to add water to your garden or if you are watering too much.
Virtual reality is coming to life thanks to smartphones with large, high-resolution screens. Samsung getting some pretty rave reviews for its new headset, if you can get your hands on one. If not, Mattel has updated its 75-year-old Viewmaster. For under $30, kids and adults can explore the Amazon or outer space. Any tech-savvy consumer will appreciate this. It's an all-in-one charger that's small and lightweight. Zolt, as it's called, can juice up just about any gadget in your arsenal, from computers to phones to tablets. Looking for last-minute stocking stuffers? Check out Snap Power. $20 gets you a new plate for your electrical outlet that has a built-in USB charger. No need to call an electrician. A screwdriver is all you need to modernize your home. For the forgetful folks in your life, there's Tile. It's a small GPS accessory, perfect for keys, a purse, or even your pet. If you lose something, open the app on your phone and quickly locate it. But not every unique present has to be high-tech. The just-launched site Zeitgeist Gifts has a slew of merchandise that's uncommon and doesn't require batteries.
We have fun stuff for women, we have fun stuff for men, we have an awesome collection, especially for the kids. So I think it's very diverse, our collection.
In New York, Brett Larson.
There you have it, a little something for everyone. And think about the presents you bought this holiday season. Did any of them come from Amazon? Well, according to newly released stats, 39% of all money spent by Americans online is spent at Amazon. That is more than the next 20 e-commerce sellers combined. It is a yearly gathering of friends to help raise money for a good cause.
The Bourbon Classic is going on tonight at the Manchester Music Hall. Our Deanne Stevens is out and about with the preview.
It's a party with a purpose. It's the Bourbon Classic happening here tonight. We are at Manchester Music Hall. I said, keep throwing some peppermint in there, and then you've got your holiday drink, right? Did I do that okay?
That looks right to me.
McKay Moore and Stephanie Bork are with us, and you guys are really throwing together a great event tonight for 2 wonderful causes.
Absolutely. We're really excited. We hope to have a big turnout tonight, and it should be a lot of fun.
And what is the Bourbon Classic all about?
Drinking
bourbon?
Drinking bourbon. Bourbon is definitely involved. I have to be for the holidays. We're going to raise money for some charity surgery on Sunday and the Live Like Ron Foundation.
Now, Stephanie, you said, Deanne, I wouldn't really taste that. We just threw that together, put a peppermint stick on it, and it looks good, but maybe it'll taste better tonight when the real bartenders are here.
Yes, we're so excited. We're going to have an all-out party. There's a DJ, there's a band. It's going to be great.
And this, too, is for the Live Like Ron Foundation, which you are working with. What is Live Like Ron?
Live Like Ron is a foundation made to better the lives of children in Kentucky through education, health care, whatever they need, we're going to do it.
And it's pretty cool to think that folks, just by buying a ticket, can help out these causes that are, in turn, helping folks here in our community. Now, there's live music, there's silent auction. What are some of the items in your auction?
We're going to have a package from Keeneland. We're going to have dinners provided by BHG. We're going to have some paintings, basketball tickets. It should be a good collection.
And for folks maybe who haven't been to any holiday parties yet, here's their special invite, right?
Absolutely. This is a personal invitation from the Bourbon Classic to attend.
Come on out. Tickets are $50 here at the door, located on Manchester Street, Manchester Music Hall. Come be a part of the Bourbon Classic tonight. Doors open at 9 o'clock. I'm Deanne Stevens, out and about. We're going to let McKay try it. Come on. Let me see what you got. I'm kidding. You don't have to. Back to you guys.
It is time now for better living, health, education, and consumer news that impacts your life. A new study in the journal Pediatrics found most families taking a newborn baby home from the hospital made safety mistakes when it comes to car seats. In total, 95% made at least one error. 86% of mistakes were related to positioning the baby in the seat. 77% made mistakes related to installing the seat properly. The most common mistake was harnesses left too loose or chest clips placed too low. The Centers for Disease Control says there were 1.5 million new cancer cases reported in the year 2012 in the U.S. The rates of prostate, lung, and colorectal cancers fell that year. Scientists said 2 out of 3 people diagnosed with cancer can survive 5 years or more after diagnosis. The American Heart Association reports a new drug is showing promise against blood clots. Doctors say PZ-128 prevented 80 to 100% of platelets from clumping together and that it clears the blood quickly. They add more testing, though, is needed. Gatorade may be going organic. PepsiCo is reportedly planning to introduce an organic version of the sports drink next year. Gatorade has not commented on what ingredients it will replace. Gluten-free Cheerios are nothing new except for the box. General Mills reports sales of the breakfast staple have jumped 3% after putting the words gluten-free on the box. The cereal is made from oats, so it has been gluten-free. General Mills started promoting the fact in September. Chex and Lucky Charms also don't contain wheat, so General Mills didn't have to reformulate them to label those as gluten-free as well.